Santa Cruz Mission by Alexa, April 27, 2018. Why I chose this mission. I love Santa Cruz. It is by the ocean. It is beautiful. Best of all, it is by the beach boardwalk. Introduction. In this report, I will be including information on the early history of the mission, when it was founded, by whom it was founded, a description of the mission, what Santa Cruz mission was like, Native American facts, what they did for the beautiful mission, and what most interested me. In 1492, the Spanish government wanted to explore the New World, which was North America, Central America, and South America. The Spanish were wishing to find gold, an easy route to Asia, and wanted to buy silks and spices to sell to get a lot of money. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo was in North America. He wanted to find a river to go to Asia. New Spain now wanted to send more men to Alta California because the Russians and British were saying that the land was theirs. It was 4 months later in May when the group of men started their journey on the horses by land. When the Spanish fought the Aztecs and established New Spain, they learned about settling a land where people already lived. The Spanish practiced Catholicism. They also realized that getting along was easier if they set up religious missions. A mission is a place where religious leaders teach others about their religion. Christianity is a religion. They believed if you did not believe in Christianity, then you did not go to heaven. Franciscan friars, also known as frays in Spanish, were sent from Spain to teach everyone to believe in Catholicism. The Mission Santa Cruz was founded in 1791 by Father Lawson. When the Spanish arrived, there were a lot of different tribes, and they were called the Ohlone. Like most Indians, the Ohlone were living by hunting and gathering. They only got the food and things they needed. They wouldn't eat the acorns right away because it had acid in them. To remove the acid, first they grounded the acorns. When they poured boiling hot water over the crushed acorns 10 times. This removed the acid, and now they were able to cook with them. The women made thick cereal out of it. The Ohlone Indians built their homes out of the willow branches. A willow is a kind of tree. How the Ohlone Indians built their roofs is that they placed the long branches into the ground and tied them together to form a roof. After one season, they had to move. They reused the willow frames if they returned to that same house again. All of the villages had sweat houses. They dig a hole to make a fire. The men and boys from the Ohlone tribe didn't wear that much clothing. The boys, girls, men, and women wore deer, rabbit, or seal skin cloaks when it was cold. The girls and women wore their hair piled on top of their heads. There weren't any stores around, so they had to trade others to get things that they wanted or needed. There was another important job that they had to do. Are you ready to hear it? It was basket weaving. They used the baskets to carry water and gather to cook the acorns. The Ohlone Indians believed in a god. This was because they believed that spirits were living all around them. Every tribe had a shaman. A shaman is a powerful healer and spiritual leader. The Ohlone Indians played whistles, flutes, and rattles. They also sang to thank the gods for what they had. The occasions that they had celebrated were hunts and religious days, with music and dancing. When the Spanish arrived in California, the Ohlone life changed forever. The area around the San Lorenzo River was beautiful and lush. In 1790, the Viceroy of New Spain asked Fray Lawson, who was the president of the Alta California missions, to find a mission in this area. On August 28th, in 1791, Fray Lawson sprinkled holy water on the chosen site, and it was named the 12th Mission Santa Cruz, meaning Holy Cross. Wood and twigs were set on the ground, and a mass was held. With Fray were 6 soldiers from the San Francisco Presidio. On September 24th, 1791, California Indians from Mission Santa Clara, the Asas, came to Mission Santa Cruz to help put up huts. The Ohlone Indians were asked by the friars to help build temporary shelters, and then they would pay them with maize and blankets. They helped rebuild the shelter and church after the Lorenzo River flooded in 1791. When the Ohlone Indians joined Santa Cruz Mission, their way of life changed. They followed the religion Christianity, followed the rules and prayers set, and were called neophytes. According to the Spanish customs, women were locked in their quarters at night, and neophytes who did not do their work were put into leg irons or jailed. The men worked at building, farming, blacksmithing, and making leather goods and tools. Since Mission Santa Cruz was near the San Lorenzo River, the mission began quite successfully. Crops were growing thanks to the rich soil. By the fall of 1798, the mill was built and running. Although the mission was very productive, it was not well. Many friars were unhappy and left after a year or so. The governor of Alta California decided to build a pueblo, or settlement, just across the river from Mission Santa Cruz in an effort to bring more Spanish settlers to the area. Over the next year, more Spanish settlers came to the town. In September 1799, 40 men lived in the established town Villa de Branciforte. The governor had hoped to bring craftsmen who would start business and bring families to the town. The friars were upset that Villa de Branciforte had been built so close to their mission. They felt that they were a bad influence for the neophytes. The neophytes were offered money to try and get them to work for the settlers in Villa de Branciforte. In 1797, after a bad rain, the church was destroyed and needed a lot of work. The neophytes were unhappy and planned an escape. For the 138 neophytes that escaped, 90 were found by soldiers and brought back to work. Fray Quintana, one of the friars at the mission, was sick for some time, so it was believed that he died of a natural cause. A new investigation of the case began. An autopsy was performed on him. An autopsy was the first one to happen. 9 neophytes were caught and blamed. The case of the punishments of the neophytes further damaged the relationship between the friars and the Ohlone Indians at the mission. Santa Cruz Mission. Mission Santa Cruz was destroyed instead by the people of Villa de Branciforte. Ear-beans diseases were killing neophytes. The California Indians had never been exposed to illness like measles, mumps, or scarlet fever, that they could not fight it. Even the shamans couldn't help their people. Between the Indians who escaped or who died from diseases, the population of Mission Santa Cruz was shrinking. The missionaries eventually came upon the the Yokut tribe, but the Indians did not want to join the mission. The Yokut were as unhappy as the Ohlone had been. Unlike the Ohlone, they ran away. Hundreds of neophytes either escaped or died, causing Mission Santa Cruz to be one of the smallest missions in all of Alta California. After many years of fighting with Spain, in 1821, New Spain finally became an independent country. It was renamed Mexico. All the work that the Spanish missionaries had done would put to an end. They had originally intended to secularize control. The missions, when they believed the Indians were ready to live on their own as loyal Spanish citizens. However, it didn't happen. The Ohlone had lived at the mission for too long at a time to return to their old days of life. Since the mission's land now belonged to Mexico, the Indians could no longer continue farming and trades that they had learned there. When the United States won the war against Mexico in 1848, California became the 31st state. The California missions were given back to the Catholic Church in 1863 by President Lincoln. In 1857, however, the church was destroyed. Then there was a smaller version of Santa Cruz's church built and is there today. All in all, what I learned is that Santa Cruz mission is the 12th mission. Fray Lawson founded the mission on August 28, 1791. The Ohlone Indians helped build the Santa Cruz mission and remained there until Mexico declared the land and California became the 31st state in the United States. The new mission has many memories of the original mission and can be visited daily. That's all, folks.